Celebs Radio Network presents Fireside Chat with Larry and Paul.
Hi, fancy seeing you here.
Fancy.
If you'd watched us last night, of course, you'll know that I shaved my bonts for no good reason. That's why I have a shaved head. Welcome to this Fireside Chat from us, Larry and Paul.
Both of us.
Both of us. This is what you get if you're a monthly supporter, or a flap, if you will, a fan of Larry and Paul, for which we're eternally grateful for your monthly stipend. You help us live our dreams, writing comedy of varying quality.
Mainly average.
Mainly average, but the odd good one.
Some hot.
Some not so hot.
What can you do?
What can you do?
It's hit and miss.
It's a funny old business. How are you? Are you well? Good. How are you?
Don't get aggressive. Yeah, I'm all right.
Yeah. What have we been up to?
Well, we went to London earlier this week.
We went to
mentioned
London.
this on the live show, didn't we?
Went to London.
And we went to, we spent £1 million and an entire day for a 23-minute meeting. So it was important.
It was one of those things where we thought we'd go down and we meet this particular person, former commissioner, now producer. But with these things, with these sorts of meetings, you sort of go down, and by now we don't expect much, do we?
No.
But this
and
was
we didn't get much. So
we got nothing.
In line with expectations.
But the record it was 23 minutes long, and they did that thing. You know what we're talking about, where they've blatantly said to someone, by the way, after about 20 minutes, could you just knock on the door and just go, "Oh, your next meeting's here" or something. So that's exactly what happened,
yes.
Which was, I mean, we found it hilarious. Years previous, we probably would have been a bit sad by it, but now I just find it really amusing.
Yeah, it was sort of brutal.
Yeah.
But we're used to it. Yeah, we've been brutalised, we've been abused,
sodomised.
And
we weren't sodomised.
No, well,
but we did.
Not in those 23 minutes.
But we did meet up with lovely Mark Davison, one half of the Exploding Heads.
Yes, we did.
And we talked about. Don't tell anyone. This is just for you exclusively. We talked because Anthony was away on holiday, so he wasn't there. But we talked about going to a production company with Matt Green, with Rosie Holt, with Exploding Heads, with us, a couple other people, as a sort of online comedian cohort, like a strength in numbers thing. Because surely, because the amount of times, the amount of times that we've pitched things, because obviously we do mainly political, we have done mainly political comedy, and everyone's like, yeah, don't really want to touch politics now. But he made a really valid point, which is like, when stuff was like this, and it was last like this politically in the 90s, you know, when it was all going to shit, and there was so much scandal, and the Conservatives were doing such a bad job, that's when the proper alternative comedy came, wasn't it? Like your Ben Eltons, whether you like him or not, your
Bremner, Bird and Fortunes.
Yeah, would they have been?
I don't know where that came from.
Yeah, alternative comedy.
Your
anyway,
Ross
political
Abbott's.
stuff. Your Rick Mails, your Alexi Sales, and everything else that rhymes with that. Your Daily Mails. So stuff like that. So yeah, we were talking about that. We're sort of like in the French House, which is a famous Soho boozer. For actors, darling, for actors.
I didn't see one famous actor in there though, which is disappointing.
They're not. Yeah, I don't think it's famous actors you'll see in there. Oh, I did see Fergus Henderson, though he's not. He's a restaurateur.
Famous chef.
Chef and restaurateur. Yeah.
They only sell pints by the half in there.
They sell pints by the half,
so that you don't feel how expensive it is.
Yeah.
And a couple of halves of Guinness, £3.30.
Was it £3.30?
£3.30 for a half a Guinness.
Right. London, though, innit?
London.
It's London. But no, that was we ended up having a lovely time, didn't we? And we bumped into Rufus Jones, who's we're fans of.
He's from W1A in 2012. He's the guy that does say, "Oh no, me, no, absolutely." No, which he's in one of them and not the other.
He's in W1A, not 2012.
Yes. Yeah.
He also wrote Home, which is a lovely sitcom on Channel 4. And you'll recognise his face. He's been in loads of stuff. Anyway, we had a lovely chat with him. That was nice.
He couldn't stay in chat for. Well, we did have a chat for about 45 minutes, to be fair. But
he was nice. He was nice about it, wasn't he? When he
was lovely. He couldn't stay for longer because he did have to go for dinner with Hugh Bonneville.
As you do.
We're like, where are we going?
Can we come with you? We weren't quite like that.
Go for cheeky numbers.
I think we comported ourselves well.
We did comport ourselves really well.
Because I wasn't sure, because he was next to me, and you were like, and I was like, are you sure? and then I relied on your word and just went, can I just say? Which is always
You're excellent.
You are excellent.
But funnily enough, we've just been talking about W1A with Mark.
Yes.
And also you had been talking about a podcast that Rufus Jones had done, talking about the Robert De Niro comedy Midnight Run.
Yes, it was the Rule of Three podcast, which I think is now extinct, but still exists in Podland.
So you could turn to him and say, can I just say, I really enjoyed the podcast you did on Midnight Run with Robert De Niro.
Because I listened to it a few weeks ago, and it made me rediscover Midnight Run, which is the best Robert De Niro film, I think. It's really nice and funny and heartwarming and like a proper 80s film. And it made me fall in love with it again. And so I just thanked him for that. That's how I opened the conversation.
So that was nice. And he was...
That and Can I Touch Your Willy?
The most famous person we met. Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see some... Oh, yeah, because you asked, remember, on the way down you said, on a scale of 0 to 100, what scale of famous person do you think we'll see or bump into?
I think Rufus is higher than we would have expected.
Yeah. He's been in loads of stuff.
Yeah.
That was a highlight of our trip, that and Mark Davidson. The meeting, not so much. And then we got the rainy train back to Leeds, didn't we?
We did, and we met a couple of people on that train, which was quite nice. We met someone who worked on Emmerdale and a lady that runs an estate agent company. Yeah. And she was from Northern Ireland, and Paul just started doing Northern Irish accent, and she got really pissed off really quickly.
I think she really enjoyed it.
You brought it round after over 50 minutes worth of banter.
I think she really enjoyed it personally. I'm one of these people, you either love me or you hate me.
Yeah. And if you hate him, you report him to the police, and that's where we are.
And that's currently where we are. And you're on a register and you have a restraining order, and that's just where we are.
And so now he's not allowed to Doncaster.
Or Northern Ireland. What else are we doing at the moment?
Well, we were on 2 podcasts.
We were on 2 podcasts.
They were quite good fun. The 16 Million Rising podcast. Well, it's a radio show, actually, that's 16 Million Rising is to do with the 16 million people who voted to stay in the European Union, right? Because it's like a pro-EU, rejoin the EU.
Yeah, it's very overtly pro-EU, which I suppose, I mean, there's no point making bones about it. I am. Are you?
Yeah, I guess so.
Your guess is so. Centrist dad.
No, but I understand some people's problems with it.
Yeah, but join it, rejoin it. You've totally fucked it up.
I mean, you can't just rejoin it though, can you?
Anyway, but yeah, it's quite an overtly political one that we did. And that was good fun, wasn't it? And then we did a lovely boy called Chris Arnold's one.
And his is called The Worst Time Pod. It's worth listening to. And basically, he speaks to people, generally comedians, who about the worst time in their lives. And well, not in their lives, because that would be a really dark podcast. Sort of like amusing stuff about like the worst times in their career. So
ours were career-based ones, weren't they?
Yes.
In their entirety, yes, I think they were.
I think so.
Mainly to do with working on the radio.
But it was a lot of fun to do, and you should have a listen to them and share
he's
their
a lovely
lovely
guy.
podcasts.
He's great.
So we did that. So we felt famous briefly because people were interviewing us.
Yeah.
Which was nice.
Yeah.
So a little brief bit of fame. Back to earth with a 23-minute meeting. I got recognised in a cafe, which was nice.
By a person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's it. And that's everything we've done since we last did.
That's everything. Now we're just writing, aren't we?
Yeah, but we've done well today. Been effective. There's a broken news coming out.
Yeah, that came out. That came out today.
No, we're putting that out tomorrow.
No, sorry, it's coming out today on YouTube, but it'll be out tomorrow on Twitter, which we consider out, and then we'll have that train sketch out.
Yeah.
That we've been talking about for ages and not done. We finally did it yesterday in a flurry.
So much stuff.
And the live show last night, which you obviously watched.
And loved.
Didn't you?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it really. A bit later than usual this week because of the London trip. We normally try to do these on Mondays, but instead Friday. If not Monday, then Friday, as the old adage goes.
Forgot to mention the most exciting bit of the week, which I went to Costco and bought some faux stone lawn edging. And he helped me carry it to the car. And what's going on? What's the deal with Costco at the moment? Because the queues are always really long. Thanks for being monthly supporters. We really appreciate it. And thanks for watching and subscribing and all that stuff. Yeah, and we'll see you next week.
Well, it's Monday. Monday will be too soon, won't it? Now that this has gone out on Friday.
Yes, probably. Also, there is a live show next week.
There is a live show next week. Yeah.
Friday you're off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fine. Good. We'll see you then.
We'll see you next Thursday. And we'll get behind the scenes before I go on Friday
Yeah, let's do that.
somehow. But either way, listen, we don't see you through the week. We'll see you through the window.
Through your bedroom window.
Through your bedroom window.
Goodbye.
We see what you do. Goodbye.
Goodbye.